These 20 terms separate those who pass the California exam from those who retake it. Think you can master them all? Let's find out together. Here's the game plan. 20 definitions, 4 rounds. I'll give you the definition, you guess the term, then I'll break it down. 1 point for each you get right. Ready for a perfect 20? Let's go. These first 5 cover the different types of property ownership and estates. Understanding these is critical. They're the foundation of everything in real estate. Let's see how you do. Here's the gold standard of ownership, the highest form of ownership under the allodial system. Can you guess what it is? The correct answer is fee simple absolute. This is the ultimate ownership. Complete control with no time limits, no conditions, no restrictions. You own it forever. You can sell it, lease it, give it away. Leave it to heirs. It's as close to absolute ownership as you can get in the US. This next one has strings attached. A freehold estate that places conditions or restrictions on the use of a property. For example, if the deed had a condition that no alcohol would be sold on the property and that was violated, the owner could lose title. What's this called? Take a moment. The right answer is fee simple defeasible. This is ownership with a condition attached. If you violate the condition, you can lose the property. It defeats your ownership. The grantor can take it back. Common example, land donated for a school with the condition it stays a school. Stop using it as a school, you lose it. This term always slipped my mind when I was studying. Let me help you remember it. An interest in real property that lasts the length of someone's life. It is a type of freehold estate because it is indefinite in duration. When the life of the tenant ends, title reverts to the original owner or a remainder man. Think it through. What's this estate called? The answer here is life estate. The life estate lasts as long as someone lives. No more, no less. It's perfect for estate planning. Example, parents want to live in their home until they die, but ensure it goes to their kids. They create a life estate, they live there for life, then it automatically transfers to the children without probate. These terms come straight from Lexawise's database. Inside, you'll find over 1,000 flashcards like these, unlimited practice exams, and all the study tools you need. Links on screen right now. Next up, this one works hand in hand with the last term, the remnant of an estate that has been conveyed to take effect and be enjoyed after the termination of a prior estate. For example, when an owner conveys a life estate to one party and directs that ownership will then pass to someone else when the life tenant dies. What do we call this? This time the answer is remainder. The remainder is what's left over after the life estate ends. The remainder man is the person waiting in the wings. Life tenant dies, remainder man automatically gets the property. No probate, no sale. It's predetermined in the deed. Last one in this round, this is a government power. When property is returned to the state because there is no individual owner. For example, when a property owner dies intestate without a will, and without heirs, an individual cannot get property through such a power. It is a government power. This power has a unique name. What is it? The correct answer is escheat. Escheat is the state's safety net. When someone dies with no will and no heirs, the property can't just sit there forever. Escheat to the state. Think of it as the state being the ultimate heir of last resort. You can't claim property through escheat as an individual. Only the government has this power. 5 down. How's your score now? Keep counting. Next 5 terms cover what can burden or affect a property. These show up constantly in transactions. Know them cold. Let's keep going. This is the umbrella term for everything that affects title, anything that affects or limits the fee simple title to a property, such as mortgages, leases, easements, or restrictions. What's the broad term that covers all of these? The right term is encumbrance. An encumbrance is anything that burdens the title. It doesn't necessarily prevent transfer of ownership, but it affects the property's value or use. Mortgages, liens, easements, restrictions, they're all encumbrances. When you buy property, you're buying it subject to existing encumbrances unless they're removed. These 20 terms are just the beginning. On Lexawise, you get 1,000 flashcards, unlimited practice exams that mirror the real test, and topic-based drills. Links in the description. Don't walk into exam day unprepared. This property serves someone else's needs. The land burdened by the easement. What do we call the property that bears the burden? The term is servient tenement. Your neighbor has the right to cross your driveway. Your property is the servient tenement. It serves their needs. Your land bears the burden of the easement, while theirs gets the benefit. Remember, servient equals serves someone else. And here's the flip side. This property gets the benefit. The land enjoying the easement can terminate an easement by recording a quitclaim deed. This is the opposite of servient estate. What is it? The answer is dominant tenement. If your landlocked property has an easement to cross your neighbor's driveway to reach the street, your property is the dominant tenement. You dominate or benefit from the easement. Your neighbor's property is servient. Always remember, dominant benefits, servient serves. This protects lenders when property is sold. Clause in a mortgage instrument that prevents a borrower from selling a property or allowing an assumption of the existing mortgage without lender approval. If an attempt is made to do so without prior approval, the entire remaining mortgage balance becomes due before the property can be transferred. Also called due on sale. What's the official name? The term is alienation clause. This protects lenders. If you sell your house, the buyer can't just take over your low-interest loan. They need their own financing, and you must pay off your mortgage. It prevents people from transferring properties with old favorable loans the lender never agreed to extend to a new borrower. This next clause can accelerate your entire debt, a clause that allows the lender to demand payment of the outstanding loan balance for various reasons. The most common reasons are if the borrower defaults on the loan or transfers title to another individual without informing the lender. What makes all your debt due immediately? The answer is acceleration clause. This clause accelerates your payment schedule. Miss payments or violate loan terms. The lender can demand the entire balance immediately instead of waiting for monthly payments. It's their nuclear option. You default, they accelerate, you owe everything now. This protects lenders from prolonged defaults. 10 down, halfway there. Keep that momentum. Drop your score in the comments so we can know how well prepared you are. These next three cover financing terms and liens that protect creditors. Master these. They're testable and practical. Let's keep going. This sounds complicated, but it's actually simple. The pledge of property as security of a loan in which the borrower maintains possession of the property while it is pledged as security. What's this financing concept called? The term is hypothecation. You use your house as collateral for your mortgage, but you still live in it. That's hypothecation. The lender has a security interest, but you keep possession. This is different from pledging jewelry at a pawn shop where they take possession. In real estate, you hypothecate the property, but keep using it. This protects borrowers from predatory lending, the practice of charging more than the rate of interest allowed by law. What's it called when interest rates are illegally high? The answer in this one is usury. Every state sets maximum interest rates lenders can charge. Exceed that limit? That's usury, and it's illegal. This protects borrowers from loan sharks and predatory lenders. As a real estate pro, know your state's usury limits so you can protect clients from bad deals and illegal loans. Keep this one handy for your cheapest client, the one who forgot to pay the contractor. A hold against your property filed by an unpaid contractor, subcontractor, laborer, or material supplier, and is recorded with a county recorder's office. What protects workers who aren't paid? The term is mechanic's lien. Contractor renovates your kitchen but you don't pay? They can file a mechanic's lien against your property. This lien stays until the debt is paid, and it can prevent you from selling or refinancing. It protects workers and suppliers who improve your property. Amazing work. You just tackled 13 important terms that show up on every real estate exam. Final 7? These cover agency relationships and property valuation. Don't lose focus now. These protect your license and your clients. Let's finish strong. This agent acts beyond their normal authority. An act of law or circumstances requiring a limited agent to act beyond their authority. Principal's consent is not necessary. When emergencies strike, what type of agent acts without permission? And the answer is agent by necessity. Imagine you're managing a rental property. A pipe bursts and floods the building. You can't reach the owner. You call a plumber immediately to stop the damage. That's acting as an agent by necessity. The emergency circumstances give you authority to act beyond your normal scope to protect the principal's interests. No consent needed when time is critical. Last one of this round. This agent has broad, ongoing authority. Agent who has the authority to perform any and all acts required for a job or business. When a real estate agent performs property management functions for a client, they are acting as such an agent. What type of agent handles all aspects of a job? The term is general agent. A general agent has broad, continuing authority to handle all aspects of a business or job. Property managers are classic examples. They collect rent, arrange repairs, handle tenant issues, renew leases. They have ongoing authority to make decisions within the scope of managing the property. This is the most common type of agent in real estate. Agent with the authority to perform a specific duty, for example, a listing agent. What do you call an agent with limited specific authority? The term is special agent. Most real estate agents are special agents hired for one specific purpose: sell this house or help buy that house. Your authority is limited to that transaction. You can't make other decisions for the client beyond the listing or buyer agreement. Once the house sells or the buyer finds a home, your special agency ends. This is different from a general agent who has broad, ongoing authority. This situation requires full disclosure and consent. When a real estate licensee works with both the buyer and the seller. What's it called when you represent both sides? The term is dual agent. Dual agency happens when one agent or brokerage represents both buyer and seller in the same transaction. It's legal in California with full written disclosure and consent from both parties. But it's tricky. You owe fiduciary duties to both sides, which can create conflicts. You must be neutral and can't favor one over the other. Many brokerages avoid it entirely because of liability risks. This is the cornerstone of fiduciary duty. Fiduciary duty that requires an agent to put the needs of their client above anyone else's, including their own. What's the fiduciary duty that puts the client first? The term is loyalty. Loyalty means your client comes first, before your commission, before the other party, before your own interests. Their needs are paramount. You can't put your desire for a quick sale above getting them the best deal. You can't share their confidential information to close faster. Loyalty is the foundation of the fiduciary relationship. Violate it, and you risk your license. This is the most common appraisal method for homes. Method of estimating the value of a property by looking at sales of comparable properties. Also called the sales comparison approach. What is it? The answer is market data approach. This is how most residential properties are valued. An appraiser finds 3 or 4 comparable homes, similar size, location, condition, that recently sold, then adjusts for differences. Extra bedroom? Add value. Needs new roof? Subtract value. It's the most reliable method for homes because it's based on what buyers actually paid for similar properties. Final term. Your last point is at stake. The reasonable, probable, and legal use of a property that results in the highest value. What is the best use for a property? This is the first thing to think about when looking at vacant land. Figure out how much of a net return you can get by building on the property. If the use is temporary, it would then be considered an interim use. What determines the most valuable legal use of land? The last term is principle of highest and best use. This is the use that produces the highest value while being reasonable, probable, and legal. Vacant lot near downtown? Highest and best use might be commercial, not residential. Agricultural land being rezoned? Maybe residential development is now highest and best use. You're looking for the sweet spot. What's legal, what's physically possible, what's financially feasible, and what's maximally productive. That's highest and best use. Amazing. You just mastered 20 challenging California exam terms. What was your final score? Drop it in the comments section. Didn't comment yet? Do it now. Hit subscribe for more exam prep content. We're uploading new videos every week to help you pass on the first try